Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Million Mom Movement Fierce Friday. Today is October 21st, and we are going to be talking about happy, healthy Halloween hacks. So it is my pleasure to hop on here and host this incredible Fierce Friday. I've been on the Million Mom Movement Council for about 4 years now, and in the Purium community for 8 years. And this movement has inspired me so much. And so it is my honor to hop on here and share some of my tips and tricks as a mom of how we can stay healthy through Halloween and the holidays. So I really love this movement and I'm excited to just dive in and share more. We all know that during this time, there are so many toxins that we're being inundated every day, but especially when it comes to these holidays that are all about candy and sweets, right? There's the sugar, there's the food coloring, then there's all the preservatives, and then there's all the wrappers and plastic and waste that goes into the landfill because of these holidays. And so these are all things that I'm really passionate about, and I'm happy to bring my counsel here to share more about what we're doing to help this holiday be healthier and, create less waste. So today I have our newest council member, Michelle, with us. I have Carmela and Taz, and we're all going to be sharing our tips and tricks. And thank you so much for all being a part of this Million Mom Movement community. Each and every one of you here makes this movement move forward. Without you, we would not be the same movement and community. So thank you so much for tuning in, and please continue to invite your guests to join us every Friday. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Taz so she can share the pledge with us.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you all for being here. So, Halloween, this is exactly what Naiva spoke about, the most toxic time. And our kids are being bombarded by high sugar dyes. Dyes are everywhere. All of these vibrant colors that we're seeing that our bodies are naturally attracted to, because it's looking at fruit and vegetables and all of these colors, right? Not artificial ingredients, but our kids don't know that. This is another example why the pledge means so much to us, because it's something that we live by, that we not just talk about, we share, we show other parents that there's another way. Because what happens is that moms and dads, they go to the grocery store and they see all of this junk food and they think to themselves, well, you know what? It's just once a year, right? How many of us have said that? It's okay. It's only during Halloween. Let them indulge. But you know what? That indulgence, what happens is that this toxic chemical stays in your body. It stays for years. It's not one time, once in a while, that you're doing this to yourself. You are poisoning your body from the inside, and it can stay with you until you're an adult. So let's pass this movement forward and let's share this pledge about everything of what we stand for and who we are. And let's educate all the mamas and caregivers and the movement of many forward. Okay. So if there's anyone that you know that you would love to share this with, please do that. So we have this in our Purium app, and we have it also in boards, and we have it in millionmommovement.info. And where Naiva went, movement, join, and scroll all the way down. Okay. So let's read this together as our Million Mom Movement pledge as our pledge, right? I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement. And it's because of all of you that we do these calls. It's because we do this movement together. So I urge you to share this movement with everyone and share this pledge. So in the app, you can just go and share, and you just, paste it and share it to every single person that you meet, and you ask them, does this resonate with you? Okay, back to you, Naiva.
Thank you so much, Taz. I love the pledge so much and aligns so much with everything that we're moving this needle forward to just educate more families about what is in our food. So we also have an in the news piece today. Michelle, I'll go ahead and pass it over to you.
Thanks so much. Welcome, everyone. I'm Michelle Ricci. I'm the newest member of the Million Mom Movement Council, and this is near and dear to my heart, lightening the toxic burden and finding safe alternatives. It's important to me that not to be an alarmist, but also to help you not keep your head in the sand either. And Halloween is a big deal because we want to have fun and we want the kids to have fun. And we're just marketed all these chemicals. You know, these chemicals are allowed into the industry without being tested. And then later, if they can be proven to be harmful, they're removed, but that very rarely happens. So the real villains of Halloween are these toxic costumes and face paint, right? And so this article does a really good job of not only showing us what is in these products, but also some safe alternatives. So this article goes over the top 3 things to avoid for a non-toxic Halloween. And the first thing is the face paints and makeup. So conventional face paints, makeup are known to contain lead and other metals. And so they go into this in this article and talk about the nickel, the cobalt, the chromium, and parabens, the fragrance. And they talk about how nearly 50% of face paints tested in a recent report contained at least one hormone altering ingredient, and 20% of face paints contain lead. So that's what Taz was just talking about, these hormone disruptors. And it's really concerning, especially with the kids, because that's something that stays inside of them and creates long-term damage. So especially our teenagers that are transitioning, this could really impact them for the rest of their lives. So there's some ideas here for making your own non-toxic face paint, and then some of the information about the exposure to the hormone disruptors. And then they go on to talk about costumes and masks. And, you know, what do you do? Sometimes your kids just want to be, you know, the cartoon character. So this talks a little bit about the vinyl that goes into these costumes. Again, how it's linked to, again, the hormone disruption, cancer, respiratory problems, and even birth defects. So it's really a wake-up call. I like how they give you alternatives to toddler costumes, and then really line out what's going on with the flame retardant in these costumes and how those are also hormone disruptors and can lead to thyroid issues. And so we're seeing more and more people with thyroid issues at younger and younger age, and they really are beginning to link it to the flame retardants. And this could be the mattress you're sleeping on, your pillows, especially when you shop at more conventional places. And then third, the trick or treat bags. So just the plastic bags that are orange and have a pumpkin on it. Why not swap them out for pillowcases? Plastic is a serious threat to the ocean and the environment, and they go into this. And I have a personal story of being in Bali and going from island to island, and along some of the coasts, instead of seashells where the water breaks, it was plastic. Every plastic I've ever seen in my life, and then things I didn't recognize. And it was just so sad to see. And we had been snorkeling one day and it was beautiful. And the next day after a rain, we were literally swimming through and grabbing plastic bags with our hands. And plastic was really introduced to Indonesia through Western culture. So these are just things that we can do to really lighten our toxic burden, set our kids up for success, still have fun. And I really like the way this article lines it out for you. The other thing is how many people maybe have attempted to take the candy out of trick or treat and then filled plastic goodie bags with erasers and plastic products. And so this gives you 27 great candy alternatives besides toothbrush and other plastic products that you might hand out. So I like this article. I think I've said that 4 or 5 times, but it really does link you to some great alternatives. And it's just so important for us to really consider, vote with our dollar, like turn over every stone and find ways to reduce that toxic burden and set our kids up for success. So with that, I'll pass it back.
Thank you so much, Michelle. So much great information in that article. I went ahead and dropped it in the comments for anybody that wants to save that link and review it later or share it with your community. So many great solutions as well. And that's what we do here at the Million Mom Movement and Imperium is it's all about providing solutions to the problems that are at hand. And so I love that article because it does provide a lot of alternative solutions to the problem that we're facing with going into the Halloween season. So I'm really excited to be sharing more recipes as well as some costume ideas with you all, because we all know that the single-use costumes are super wasteful. They're covered in flame retardants, like Michelle just mentioned, and there's just so many chemicals used in the process of creating and packaging these single-use costumes that then go into the landfill. And so let's look at quality things that we can help our children be creative, help our family members be creative with maybe some of the clothes that we have in our closets, or maybe going to the thrift store and finding some fun reused items, upcycle some items to create a really fun costume, things like a pirate or, a cowboy, or there's certain things that we can create fairly easily with clothes that are upcycled. So those are some fun ideas. And then as for Halloween, we want to be different and wear masks and all those things. So one of the alternatives I wanted to share was maybe creating a fun Purium green mask. If your child wants to be the Hulk or some green goblin, let's help them make a facial mask out of like spirulina and aloe concentrate and a little bit of honey so it's not too sticky. And let them wear that. Now, don't let them wear it too long because it is detoxifying and we don't want them to have side effects from having a spirulina mask on for too long, but you could probably put it on and go around the block and then come home and wash it off. And so we also wanted to share some recipe ideas or some ideas of what you might be able to incorporate. Now, we might not be handing out Purium for Halloween, but we might be going to a Halloween party or creating a Halloween, community event where we can bring a platter. So a fun idea that I've seen and I've done is bringing like a veggie platter. And those of you that were at the Diamond Club event, you got to taste our Can't Beat This hummus as well as our barley green hummus. And both of those recipes are on the Million Mom Movement official millionmommovement.info website under recipes. You can find both of those hummus recipes and they make a green and a pink hummus. You could add additional, more Can't Beat This to make it more red. And have fun with it. Make a veggie platter that resembles a skeleton or a pumpkin. If you have like a lot of carrots, you could maybe make it in the shape of a pumpkin and use the celery sticks as the top. And so there's different ways that you can become creative with healthy foods. The other idea that I thought was maybe like a fruit bowl or a fruit platter, and you could have yogurt as the dipping component of your fruit, and maybe drizzle apothecary on the fruit and the yogurt to resemble, dragon's blood or something creepy like that. So we want to incorporate these superfoods as much as we can with our children and still make it fun and festive. So those were a couple of my ideas, and I do have a special guest that is going to be joining us, and she is creating a fun Halloween block party, I think, where she's getting the community involved in sharing healthy alternatives with the kids. So Anna Marie, are you on here? Can you hop on and share your tips and tricks with us and your super fun Halloween idea?
Hi, yes, I would love to. Thanks for having me on, and thank you for giving all those excellent ideas about costumes, and thank you for all the awareness earlier with what we're seeing with the plastic bags and people trying to do better with, switching out from candy, but then they're switching into plastic bags and plastic toys and things like that. So I appreciate that kind of awareness. And yeah, for us, since we are so strictly eating only organic in our family, it can be tricky for us sometimes going out to social events and getting to do things with other families, because it can be difficult to tell your child that they can't eat what everybody else is eating. And fortunately, Cornelia has really understood the organic criteria in our family, and knows even when we go into our stores, she'll pick something out and she'll say, "Can I get this, Mom? Is this organic?" Because we tell her, no, we only buy organic things. So one of the things that we have been wanting to go to and haven't been able to is the Halloween block party that happens on my mom's neighborhood street every year. And my sister has older boys. She's a part of the Million Mom movement as well, and is really dedicated and devoted to only putting organic food in her boys and her family as well. And it's been honestly a little bit of a situation that my mom wants us to go to the Halloween block party, and me and my sister haven't felt that comfortable because of what's typically offered at the block party and the situations that can arise as parents when having to go to those. So I have been working with one of the neighborhood moms to put on this year a healthy Happy Halloween. And it is really exciting because it's a great way for us to get to share with the entire neighborhood Purium Superfoods as an avenue for both the kids and the parents, and get them to have a fun way to get to try it. And it also is allowing us to be able to join in on all these Halloween festivities with the other kids in the neighborhood that we love so much, but be able to offer organic fun treats and work with the other moms about it's a really great educational opportunity to talk to other moms about why I'm offering this and why this is a better alternative for our family and for the whole world and for the neighborhood. And so we've come up with some fun ways to not only have a healthier, happy Halloween, but to include our superfoods in some of the treats that we're offering. And one of the fun treats that I'm excited about is making a fruit dirt kind of cup for kids using our Epigenius Kids Shake. And you can make a nice smoothie out of the Epigenius Kids, and it will be of a brownish color representing the dirt. And then if you sprinkle the top of your Epigenius Kids on, it can be quite crumbly and looking like dirt. You can also get some organic brownie batter if you do choose to want to use that and get a little bit sweeter and more fun. And you can kind of mix that in and make a like dirt crumble on the top. And you can put in either some fun, like mango strip slices in there, and they could be like slithery worms coming out of your dirt cup, or you could choose another fruit. Fortunately, in this day and age, we actually do have more organic candy options coming up. If you do choose candy, you can find organic online. And so you can add the organic gummy worms in there, and then it looks like worms coming out of a dirt cup, and that one's really fun. Another one that I'm excited about for the kids is putting together a monster mash shake with the green shake. And you can do this in some little tiny mason kind of jars, or if you have jars that you save around your house. I know we all buy different things that come in jars, so you can recycle, use jars that you already have. And you can make a green shake and put that in there, and go ahead and top it with kind of like what Naeva was saying with using the apothecary as a nice for older children, a little blood, dragon's blood or bat's blood or something along those lines, and drizzling that over the top looks like, you know, some blood coming from the monster. You could make it Frankensteinish by putting in a little bit of a they have some, I have found organic candy eyes. They're at very select like organic kind of health food stores and online. But you can get creative with different little things that you could perhaps use an organic chocolate chip to put in there on the inside of the cup and make it look like eyes for your monster. Another fun one that I have been enjoying is seeing just making little tangerines out of the pumpkins, or taking a kiwi and just cutting the peel off the bottom so it's green and the top head is still on there, and that can look like a little Frankenstein. So another one is kind of making it more for adults too, a fun way to, whether you're going to a kid's Halloween party or you're going to an adult's Halloween party and you want to make some fun drinks. The dark berry being purple is a really perfect way, mixing that up, putting in some different fruits and different even edible flowers for an adult's party. You can put in some sparkling water and call it a witch's brew. Adding apothecary into the dark berry is really yummy too. So I have a lot of ideas. I'll be posting them on my page. You can check it out, Holistic Country Mama. And we'll be putting together a lot of, like I was saying, for the adults, a lot of autumn, fall, different type recipes with our superfoods for our upcoming women's retreat. So if you want to follow me there too, to get some of your Thanksgiving foods, as we were talking about, you're coming, well, as soon as we leave Halloween, we're going to warp right into the Thanksgiving realm. And so we're putting together a lot of really fun, healthy superfoods recipes for fall and Thanksgiving too.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anna Marie Sandoval, for being our special guest today and sharing all your incredible tips. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's go ahead and move forward. I know that we have lots more great tips to share with you all. So give Anna Marie some love in the comments. She has to get back to her babe. And Carmela, let's pass it over to you.
Thank you so much, Naeva and Anna Marie. That was just wonderful what you're doing for your neighborhood. It definitely takes a village to raise children. So I believe when you gather people who have the same mindset, it really builds belief in the other mothers that it is possible. And so absolutely, it's about imagining what is the potential of healthy, and what does thriving look like? Well, if you look healthy and well and your kids are perfectly fine with these superfood infused healthy Halloween treats, we've done our job. So thank you so much. It was so good to see you again. Okay.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. So I'm going to start out. I have a few really fun things here I made for my children. I'm going to start with deviled eggs, but I had guacamole eyes, ooh, as they fall on the keyboard. They're guacamole eyes with, I mashed the egg yolk and I added barley green juice. Now, what I love about barley green juice is that it actually produces a stimulation that restores the cellular DNA. And this is really important for mamas, for children, because we're growing bodies, but then we have to get these greens and these phytonutrients into our children somehow. And I tell you, this is really fun to eat. It's one mouthful, it looks creepy, and it fits the Halloween theme perfectly. So when my kids come home, they already like deviled eggs the healthy way. No mayonnaise. It's really just guacamole, the egg yolk, the barley grass juice, and that's it. And oh, an olive, as well as an olive. My daughter loves olives. So I have to find a way that it could be really healthy, and it's really visually attractive, which is really important to kids too. So, and then I took activated barley, activated charcoal, sorry. And instead of those like icings, I made my own with tropical oil and activated charcoal. It was so simple. You put it in a little tube with icing and you can make so much with it. such as these little eyes. Look at these little guys. How cute are they? So you'll see them all around, the healthy, happy, like Halloween treats. And what I did with these was I added the dark berry protein and I pureed it with strawberries. And I put them as the mouth for these cute little monsters. And then I put almond slivers as teeth. And some of them I added strawberry slices as a tongue. So not only is it just visually super attractive, but it has the dark berry protein, which we know I put for, it's a little bit gritty. So I added like a touch of honey. So I made it smooth. So when you eat the apple, you taste a good, everything has to be really good and palatable, right? If you want to get it into your children. So find ways to smooth it out, but you're getting acai, beetroot, blackberry, blueberry, cherry, maki, lion's mane mushroom, MCT oil, amla fruit, camu camu, humic and fulvic acid. So you're getting these into your kids as a snack. Congratulations, you've done a great job in finding a way to make it palatable, pretty, and Halloween themed. So I was looking for somehow to get it into a Halloween themed treat, and I figured it out. And I had, I test tried it. We're gonna be putting these recipes up on the official, or maybe we'll put it on the recipes page on our website. So I highly recommend that you guys try these recipes. Another one is it's starting to become a lot colder in the Northeast for sure. So some of us who are cleansing, we need warming foods. So I chose to put together little jack-o'-lanterns and sweet and bell peppers, and I opened them up, and inside I took wild rice, parsley, portobello mushrooms, wild mushroom gravy, and I put in what's the Purium additional superfood was the rice bran solubles. What I love about the rice bran solubles that people may not know about is that it is the most nutrient dense part of the rice bran. And it contains protein, vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, tocotrienols, and plant sterols. So when you have the ability to, the part of the rice grain, it actually makes the nutrients enable the rice to sprout. So we know that sprouted food is very healthy, very easily digested. When I put it in the wild rice, and there's a difference between wild rice versus regular rice, it has a lot more nutrient content, more vitamins, more minerals, more B vitamins and magnesium and manganese. So when I put it into the wild rice, it tastes so nutty and really nice. Just try it. It has a nutty flavor, it's not sweet. And it's so adorable. Then you put it into the oven and the kids get to scoop it out and they get to eat the actual bell pepper. I did have another pumpkin protein superfood ball, but I didn't get to make it because I didn't get my chocolate chips in time for this YouTube, but I'm gonna put the recipe available on our official page and hopefully onto our website. And so the other thing that I had that I wanted to share, because it comes from my place in the world where I was raised, was rambutan. And people may not know the benefits of rambutan, but I always try to find fruits and vegetables for the kids. Now, these look super creepy on its own. And did you know though, that it's an excellent source of iron and it removes waste from your kidneys. So it also has antiseptic properties, it eliminates free radicals, so it's very high in antioxidants, and it boosts energy. So what I love is that, and I want to show you, I always cut it in the back so that they can just eat it, and it's delicious. It's in the same family as the lychee. So then I put all these little like almond slivers. So I tell them to eat that first, and they're like, ew. They have to dig in the little rambutan. Anything that's tactile, that's fun, you have to bring fun into festive. And I'm going to pass it over to the next person to share.
Thank you so
much, Carmela. Go ahead, Todd.
Well, that was amazing. I love listening to all of that. And as I'm listening to all of them, I'm like, oh, and we can add this to it, and we can add this to it. Like the Ramputans, you know how I would make that Halloween creepy? I would take out the seed, right? It looks like a lychee, right? And you can add an olive, and then it'll be like eyeballs. And then you can add it in something like maybe aloe digest or water or something sparkly. And I mean, there you go. You have your eyeball juice, right? I love all of these creative hacks. And you know, like we love recipes here at the Million Mom Movement. We have a whole page dedicated to the recipes at millionmommovement.info/recipes. We have all recipes there. So last year, we did a lot of recipes, okay? From like fingers to like brains and a lot of shots. I mean, so many creative aspects to get these nutrition into your kids. And you guys know, I love molds, right? Whatever you make, whether it's a donut or a cookie cutter, if you have the right cookie cutter, you can make anything, right? You just cut the right shape and all of a sudden it's ready for Halloween. But you know what? These cookie cutters don't only need to be used for cookies, okay? You could use them on savory things as well. So you know the dips that my council members spoke about today, the beet, the barley grass, all of these things, you know what you can do as well? I'm gonna talk a little bit something savory. So I like Siete, these tortillas. Okay, so we just buy this. It's a great brand. And then I have like, you know, the skull, I have the pumpkin one and the bat. And I just cut out fun shapes, right? Just cut out the shapes, put it in the oven, and then they crisp up. And then you can use that to dip with the superfood dip that you would make. Is that amazing? So now you're like giving fun and nutrition on a whole nother level. The kids doesn't have to have, you know, the oil packed tortillas. Now they're having delicious, fun, creative tortillas. Okay. And then another thing I make, like I had to think about what is something that I haven't made before. Because every day I try to be as creative as possible, right? I make donuts. Donuts are my go-to with my kids. They love it. And I take the Epigenius or MVP and I make a frosting and it's always a hit. But I wanted to make something else. Okay, so I decided to slice up some apples. Okay, so I sliced up the apples and I added some melted chocolate mixed with MVP family or Epigenius. You can use either one. And then I use a white chocolate. So this is the one I use because I know you guys are all going to ask me. I use the evolved one. It's very healthy and it's organic. So I used, look at that. How cute, right? And this is an apple. So you can lay this out. You can put it on a stick and like, you know, put it in those dirt things that Anne-Marie was talking about. And then your kids will snack on it. It's like a fun, delicious lollipop, but it's an apple and they would have no idea, right? And you can also like sprinkle something else on top of it. Be creative with these recipes. You know, we're just giving it to you as a blueprint, but we want to see your creativity. So I decided to whip this up this morning. I've never made this before, but let's see what we can do with it. So I had beans and I dried them. And I added some Epigenius. And this is what happened. And I put it in the oven. And it became this delicious, crispy bean. Okay? So we can even use this as a base for those little dirt jars, if you want to make that. Or little serving things for like instead of popcorn. I mean, there's so many things you can do with this. You can drizzle some white chocolate on it. You can make it creepy. I mean, it's just in a way of a delivery that we can make this cool for the kids. And this is really good. It tastes like chips. I had my husband try it and he's like, it tastes like nothing. You know, there's no like probably flavor to it. You just add your flavor. So any of the protein powders you can put in here. You can do the pumpkin spice. You can do, you know, the chai, the matcha, all of them. Okay. The Epigenius and the MVP family. So intermix. Figure out whatever works for you. And I love cocktails and I love drinks, but I like them without alcohol, right? And what's a fun way to make them without alcohol? Well, having the proper stemware, of course, right? You guys know I love having my healthy sangria in a wine glass, but here's something a little different. How about in a champagne flute? Okay, so I have in here a little bit of sparkling water, and I bought these fun little needles, okay? So these are plastic, so don't reuse them. So after you serve them, throw them out because we don't want them to be heated. And I added apothecary inside. So how fun is that? That with the kids, you can just be like, oh, look at that. I think that's just a fun idea that the whole family can have. And it looks creepy and fun. And the kids are having their nutrition and they don't even know. And another idea with this is that you can actually add some agar-agar to the apothecary and then add it in there so it becomes a little solidified. So when you are squeezing and putting it in the sparkling water, it looks a little bit like jelly inside, maybe a little bit like boba. So if your kids love boba and that jelly texture, try that. You know, there's so many different creative ideas that we can do to get this nutrition to our kids. And it's not that difficult. We just need to know what we can heat, what we can't, and simple recipes, right? I want to talk about what Anna Marie was talking about with the gummies, right? So it's really hard to find a healthy gummy bear or gummy worm. I was looking online and I found some organic ones, but then you read the ingredients and then it says cane sugar or gelatin. And it's like, well, yeah, not so much, right? So I found a couple that I would suggest to you guys. There's a Mary Roots. The Black Forest, that's the one that I said I was organic, but it has cane sugar and gelatin. So I'm vegan, so I wouldn't have that one. You have a brand called Solely, Solely. You know, it's fruit. So maybe those ones you can use as gummies. They're coated in chocolate. There's like pineapple and different dried fruits. So maybe use that as an alternative as well. The kids love the texture. They love the flavor. And you know what? That's really what Halloween is all about. Let's leave the toxicity at the door. Okay, back to you, Naiva.
Amazing, Taz. Wow, so many incredible tips today, and we're not even done yet. So Michelle, do you want to come back and share some of your ideas and tips? You're so full of knowledge.
Yes, how exciting. That's tough to follow. And mine are really simple. Maybe you have some tweens or teens coming over, or you're rounding some kids up for a party, or you're going to bring something. I wanted to talk about the superfood sangria and the popcorn. And I also wanted to talk about, we used to do this when we were kids, is make our own little haunted house and take grapes. You can peel the skin off the grapes and have kids stick their hands in the bowl and it feels like eyeballs. Maybe you can soak them in some superfoods so that it's like a bloody water. But that's really fun. The superfood sangria, really, you can do it with or without the sparkling water, and do biofruit, cocoa hydrate, perhaps some aloe digest to make it sweet. Popular fruits for sangrias would be the orange and the lemon, but people can add peaches, cherries, strawberries, and just make sure you marinate it the day before, and it's absolutely delicious. You can even float some grape eyeballs in there. And then there's really, if you've ever done a berry sangria, you could use apples, strawberries, raspberries, cherries, blueberries, blackberries, and make a delicious marinade with the some of the components of the juice bar in a bag. And then the second thing I wanted to talk about, which is great, especially for movie night, scary movie night, and some of the older kids, is the popcorn. You can air pop some popcorn and get one of those sifting strainers, essentially, and scoop the popcorn, the green Power Shake in it and shake it over the bowl. If you add a little pink Himalayan sea salt or some real salt, it makes a salty, sweet treat that is absolutely nutritious. This is a favorite at our house, even as adults, even though both of our kids are grown and have left the roost, we still make this, and it's one of our favorites. So wanted to bring in the quick and easy, what can I do? Teenagers, tweens, crash the house, something simple that you can pull together. And with that, I'll pass it back to you, Naiva, to close us out.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Wow, there's been so many tips and tricks. I love them all. And I hope you all got some great value out of our tips and tricks. And I'd also like to open it up to the field because each and every one of you here is a part of the Million Mom movement. And we'd love to hear some of the things that maybe we haven't covered yet, some of the ideas that you have to make Halloween healthier and waste-free as much as possible. So if you have something you'd like to share, please raise your hand. We'd love to hear from you as well, because you are all a part of this incredible movement and community, and we'd love to hear your voices.
I'll tap back on, and I remembered a tip. We used my son's old suit and cut the arms off and shred the pant legs and kind of tied it on his waist and made him a mummy. So, you know, we just got his shirt stained and tore everything up. And so maybe he wasn't a mummy. That wouldn't be a mummy. That would be a, what would it be? A zombie. Yeah, a zombie. Yeah.
So I have an idea. Okay, so I'm not really creative when it comes to this, but I have this idea. You know the packaging that we receive with Purium, those silver bags? Why not make a costume out of that? How cool would that be? So I know we have such a creative people all around us. In our community, there's so many creative people. How about making something like that with one of the bags? You know, like taping them together, putting them together in some form. Yeah, exactly, like a Purium mummy, something, make it a top. I don't know, but I feel this is something we need to do because this is a next level of recycling, completely biodegradable. And guys, completely organic as well.
And we have so many of them, right? We really collect them for some purpose or use. I like the idea of upcycling, Taz. I think that's great. I think my daughter would be interested to figure out something too. Like, here are some materials. What can you make out of it? One other thing I wanted to say was, you know, what's really important about all of these treats and all the things that we're talking to you guys about, it's really helping cut cravings and prevent these kids from digging into any of the candy that's given to them in school, by their friends and moms. So we really have to work at creating it and making it fun. So also just making sure their snacks are ready to go before they go out to any parties at home. That's why I'm doing this actually, because my daughter has a Halloween dance, and I know they're going to serve junky stuff. I know it. So I'm going to make sure she leaves the house full. That's number one. Because I know when she gets there and she's going to be with all of her friends, if it's punch, which is really artificial dyes, and then all the artificial colors, and then whatever snacks they have, they're bagged, it's just going to be a downward spiral from there.
It's so true. Yeah, it's so true that we have to prepare our kids so that way they can, you know, have success on their own journey too. And if we help them fill their bellies with healthy options before they go out of the house, then, you know, they won't be as hungry. They won't want to snack as much on those other options. And when we were all talking about the Terra pouches a couple of minutes ago, an idea came to mind that I used this last time. I have saved up so many of those Terra pouches and the little pouches that the capsules come in. And I actually started to refill them. When I came on this trip, I brought some of my bigger packages. I transferred them into smaller packages to bring with me. But while I was doing that, I also created some samples to give away. So I reused some of the smaller packaging that our capsules come in, like the Biomedic, and I just put like 1 scoop of the Power Shake in there that I can give away as a sample. So you can create your own samples that maybe you want to give away to your guests, or maybe you're going to, you know, a Halloween party and you're going to be talking with people. And so that actually gives you a way to give away a sample, but you could also reuse those to put some of these treats in. If you're wanting to give away some of these treats or make little goodie bags, we could upcycle our compostable packaging And that's like a double win. We're upcycling something that is already, compostable. So there's no waste in it. And you could turn this into the gift bag for Halloween. If you have a bunch of them in the cupboard, add all the fun little things that you're going to give away to your guest if you're having a Halloween party or a healthy, happy Halloween happy hour at your house. Then you could really reuse these in different ways to make them into little care packages or sample packages for your guests.
Wow,
So,
that is truly everyday activism, Naiva. What a great idea. I love that. And you know what else? My son is an adult now, and we really, before Purium, led a very organic life, and he didn't eat wheat or things like that. And so we always ate before we went to parties or brought stuff that was a little outside the box. But one of the things that we did the week before Halloween is had a conversation about what his biggest currency is, like something he is really like wants for himself. One year it was a phone, another year it was headphones. And so then the goal was to get as much candy as he possibly could, even after he was too old for the Great Pumpkin or any of these other things. And that was his currency. The more candy he gave me, the bigger the prize. And so that's what he was going for. So these are conversations that you can start having with your kids now and just be like, if you can read it, you can eat it, and that was a big game I used to play with my son. So going into Halloween and preparing with these conversations can really also help make it still fun, but easier to transition into some of these other things. So.
awesome. That is a really great tip. And I love that. Being able to find ways to trade out the candy for things that your children actually want is a win-win for you and for their health, because you're really protecting them from all the artificial ingredients, colors, flavors, fillers, all the things that come in those candies that are not good for our bodies and cause all kinds of other issues, right? That's where a lot of children get their acne and different issues that's coming out through their skin. And so, those of us that know better do better. And so that's what we're all here to share some of our tips. And so if you're a guest here on this call today, please make sure and get back to the person that invited you here and join us next Friday. We're going to be talking about toxin-free trick or treat. So we're going to be diving even deeper into the good, better, best of candies that are out there and some of our practices with going into Halloween right before that happens. So please join us next Friday for that. I also have a special announcement. We launched our Purium Economic Empowerment Program scholarships last month, and we've just selected our first round of scholarship winners. So I'm super excited for them to all get started. And we still have some openings. We've decided that we actually want to start with a big group of people. So if you know anybody that is in economic hardship, that is a good fit for a business forward scholarship, there is going to be, accountability through this program. And so if you know somebody that's a good fit, then you as their sponsor can go and apply to nominate them as a scholarship recipient. And once we look over your information, you'll get an email back and you'll be able to go through the process and help them do their application. And so I just want to encourage all of you, if you know anybody that is in economic need, please help them to apply for our scholarship so that we can help them have our 6 months of superfood and business accountability. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Carmela. We do have a call to action with you all before we hop off. So please stay on for just a few more minutes. Carmela, will you share our call to action?
Absolutely. And this is the activism arm of the company Purium, and that's the Million Mom Movement. And movement means activism in action. And Henry Rollins was a guest on our Million Mom Movement Fierce Friday in the past, and he wrote a detoxproject.org. He wrote many reports on his website. Please reference, I don't know if we can share the screen, Naiva. Oh, great. So this is his website. He's a second generation activist, and it's through the Detox Project that we get third-party validation of the contaminant an herbicide, glyphosate, that does what it does in our biomedic. So if you scroll down to the reports, the poison in our daily bread is very illuminating. And there's a widespread glyphosate contamination found in American food supply, and more than half of the foods tested contained glyphosate. We know that Biomedic takes out glyphosate by 74% within 6 weeks. So it's important for us to lead you to this report, because there are specific products that are out in the market that you might think are healthy or even carried by health food stores like Whole Foods. So there's a report with a chart at the very bottom, and we go through the different products, and specifically we go onto Instagram to comment on their pages. And we share with them, if they didn't yet already know that glyphosate is in their products, then they will know, because we're going to flood them with comments from our community. So we're at number 23, and I'll say 23 and 24. But did you ever buy products from Bob Red Mills? Have you ever used this for your baking products? I have. A lot of you guys have. If you're an organic, if you're sourcing ingredients, it's in the section of the health foods. So when we go to chickpea flour and red lentils, that's number 23 and 24. It's even sourced in Whole Foods. Like I said, you think that everything from Whole Foods is vetted to be glyphosate free. They don't even know the real issue at hand, what glyphosate does. It blocks our body's ability to absorb nutrients, leaving us defenseless without the ability for our immune system to flourish and thrive. So what we're going to invite you to do is go to the Instagram page of Bob Red Mills. I'm glad you showed this name, because I looked up, their page, and I didn't realize it was this man. But yes, there's a few pages of Bob Red Mills. Make sure it's this particular page with this profile picture. And I went to the first picture. If you click it, I actually created a comment already. So I said, "Hi, I'm a concerned mom, and I love your products, but I found an alarming piece of information to bring to your attention. Bob Red Mill's chickpea flour and red lentils have about 60 parts per billion of the herbicide glyphosate in them. 10 parts per billion is what's deemed safe, and the glyphosate is linked to all of the major diseases. Check out the detoxproject.org article, The Poison in Our Daily Bread." So you don't have to write all the details like I just did, but something to the effect that I'm alarmed that you'd carry products that have the amount of glyphosate that is over what's deemed safe, because we thought you were a health food product. Say something like that if you're a concerned consumer. Write like that, very personal, very authentic. We don't want it to be copy and paste. So by you sharing this, share it to your stories. Let people know that you're making an effort to educate even health food products, that you know that glyphosate is in their products. And they may not know, but the more people that make some noise, like our community does, we want to sound the alarm for these companies so that they make a change. They work with the Detox Project. So I look forward to seeing your comments on that post, and in your stories, tag the Million Mom Movement, hashtag Million Mom Movement, and we'll get to even feature you possibly on our pages for Instagram. So I pass the word back to you, Neva.
Thank you so much, Carmela. Yes, we want you to go. So our call to action is to go. I just sent the link to that Instagram page. If you want to go ahead and click on that link in the comments, and right now go over to Bob's Red Mill and comment on that most recent post. So that way they have a flood of comments coming from our community. And as we do this week after week with different brands and different companies, we keep circling back to brands that we've alerted in the past to this issue. So as they see us come back to their pages time and time again to make these type of comments, whoever's reading this is going to be alarmed, and we'll share it with whoever their peers are that they're working with. And hopefully we can create change by really just posting this on a social channel where their customers are going to also possibly read our posts and get to know what it is that we're alarming them about and why it is that we're concerned. And this way we are sharing our activism in a really positive way. So share your positive messages on there, be cordial. We're not trying to attack them, but just let them know that you're aware of this and that you won't be buying their brands if they continue to use ingredients that contain glyphosate. So with that, thank you so much for joining us today. Please follow us on Instagram at Million Mom Movement. If you want to be featured there, you can use our hashtag Million Mom Movement or hashtag I am the Million Mom Movement. And I'd love to feature you there. You can also share your post in your stories and tag us in your stories and be reposted to the Million Mom Movement stories to be featured in that way. And also, please follow us on our Facebook page and join our Million Mom Movement official group. So that way you can have access to the recipes that we share in there. And we'd love to hear from all of you too, as our Million Mom Movement community. So please go into that group, share your tips and tricks, share your healthy Halloween recipes or ideas so that the rest of the community can also have some great inspiration from you. So thank you so much for joining us. Again, if you're a guest here, please get back to the person that invited you, and we'll see you next Friday for our toxin-free trick or treat. Thank you so much for joining us.